in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Rocha and Matt Knost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to a brand new episode of the Top 10 Show. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, welcome aboard. We told you that we'd occasionally try to shoot one of these a month, and this is the one that we're shooting. So welcome. We're in the two-shot, which I like.
We are. I mean, well, the order of operations we talked about recording is it first.
Yes.
So are we saying we have video for it as well?
Oh, my bad. All right, let's start that over again.
Why not? We can put it up on Patreon.
Yeah?
Yeah, the other one's going on Patreon, too. They just get extra content.
Okay, fair enough.
A bonus for us is a bonus for you.
All right, so we are doing this is the Top 10 Show, but this is our review of It Chapter 2, which has come out here over the weekend, and both of us have had a chance to watch it. So we're going to break it down. This is spoiler-filled.
You are.
John Rocha.
I am Matt Knost.
I thought this was for the patrons, or this is not for the patrons? This is for everybody else.
Well, eventually the audio from this will come out on the main feed.
That's a fair point.
So it's still a regular show.
Okay.
But you're playing to the cameras. I mean, it's great. Cameras go on. John hams it up. He's dedicated to that shot, just looking right down the barrel.
That's my life. That's
eye contact right here, motherfucker.
Sorry about
this
that.
This is a conversation.
You're right.
You're playing to avoid. How dare you? Spoiler-filled review of It Chapter 2. So if you haven't seen the movie or literally don't want us talking about our favorite parts or what we liked, didn't like, then turn this shit off. Thank you for the download. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for the view on YouTube. Appreciate it. Come back to it once you've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it twice.
Yeah? Oh, twice now?
Twice.
Holy shit.
Well, I got in the early screening, and then I went last night.
Wow.
That was part of the reason I was out late.
Okay.
And I was like, I want to see this one more time because I've been waiting up for this for a long time.
All right, fair enough. And I know you're a massive horror fan, and you like that first movie a lot.
Well, I am not a massive horror fan. I like it.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
It's not.
So
like
there's something. Is it the novel, or you liked the movie so much that you were excited to see the second one?
Dude, we've had this conversation like 4 times.
Listen,
5 times.
Just answer the question.
Over the course of how many years? How many years?
We couldn't have had it.
Been referenced. We've had it. We've had this conversation. Okay, so I read the book just like you in high school. Right. Pennywise has been the author of my nightmares since the high school.
Right. Yes.
So it's always had a fascination for me.
So you don't get to interview people all day and get different points. So to you, it's like, these things sometimes escape my mind. And I apologize. Yes. You're right.
But since when is a conversation between the two of us an interview?
Well, I just go into that mode sometimes, so it's my bad. Totally, you're right. Yes, you've talked about it numerous times on the show.
Doesn't matter. We don't have to rehash.
No, it's okay. And you have talked about the architect, and you said like Pennywise has really messed you up at times. Like you've had terrible nightmares with Pennywise in them, right?
No, because anytime he pops up and be like, "Oh, in my head, this is clearly a nightmare." Because it's not as effective anymore. Yeah. But he's still been a part of my life.
Yeah,
and now to see. Is it Skarsgård? Stellan Skarsgård? Over 2 movies, he steals every scene in this movie. Every time he's in it, I'm utterly captivated on his take on what this is.
Yeah.
I think him, Hader, and is it Ransom?
Yes. James Ransom.
Plays Ziggy.
Yeah.
Season 2, The Wire. Those were the 3 where I was just like, I want to see you 3 nonstop.
Yeah.
Really good. I think the movie is good.
Wait a minute. What? That's the kid from The Wire?
Yeah. Ziggy.
The one who keeps messing up all that shit?
That he boosts the cars
in
and all that
season
shit?
2. It's season 2.
Yeah,
the
Ziggy.
one by the docks.
Yeah.
That's Ziggy?
That's Ziggy.
Son of a bitch.
I've always liked him since then. It's like, dude, you played one of the best pricks. I hated you the whole time. That is stellar acting.
Wow.
Stellar. So ever since then, like
I gotta
when
look that up.
Keeps popping up in things, I'm like, Zig, still working.
Oh my
I like
God.
you. And he was awesome in this. When he stabs Bowers,
Yeah.
he's just like he's still feeble, like he just got stabbed in the face.
He's all chill about it.
And cut the fucking mullet. It's been 27 years or whatever the case is.
That's Ziggy, huh?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's been on that war show. Yeah, Ziggy, son of a bitch! Look at that. Wow, I totally forgot that was him. Holy crap. He looks completely different than what I remember him.
Him and Hader were my favorite castings of the adults, and then they came in and they both crushed it to me.
Wow.
When Hader's in the shadows.
Oh, Hader was great.
And that underground area, and he's like, hey, kids, time to float. And they're like, the tension builds up, and he jumps out. And he's like, remember he did that stupid fucking dance?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, am I the only one? Just want to add a little levity to this situation?
But overall, what did you think? You've seen it twice now. Overall, what did you think of the movie?
I think a lot of the scares still work.
Okay.
The problem is much as they allude to it nonstop of Stephen King, people harangue him for not liking his endings or something, whatever the case is.
Which is meta in the movie.
Exactly. I did not – the ending bothers me.
Okay.
Because ultimately they're saying that he can only kill if he has them fearful, which is a deviation from the book. In the book, it's as far as my remembering. It's been a long time. But he considers it like salting the meat.
Yeah.
It makes it taste better. I'll still kill you.
Yeah.
But the fear makes me relish it, enjoy it, and that's why he just plays that part so well.
Right.
And it's fucking evil. And in this one, without the fear, like it violates because he still has to kill Eddie in the end when he fucking gores him, just spears him from behind and whatnot. And you're like, well, you just did that. Why can't you kill all the others? You've had numerous opportunities.
True.
So why is it in this instance? Because we built it up to if they don't believe in your fear that you're creating, the psychological effect, then you cannot kill.
Yeah.
And then you just fucking gored him.
And this comes to a point of where my issue with the movie is that Pennywise is used sparingly in a movie where he's supposed to be the main villain. I don't see him. There are like long stretches of time where you don't see him. They all seem to overcome whatever obstacle he puts in their way, and you never feel like he can get the best of them throughout the movie. They always seem to overcome it, and it's frustrating. In the first film, you could sense those kids were legitimately fucking afraid and didn't know what was going to happen, what they were going to be able to do. They had no idea if they could beat it, that kind of thing. With this, you were constantly reminded, we did it once, we can do it again. And there's not that kind of like really where he gets like the best of the Freddy Krueger stuff where he gets inside you and fucks you up from the inside out. You don't sense that in the second chapter, which bothered me throughout the movie. But I still enjoyed the movie. I still had fun with the movie. I enjoyed the scares like you just said. I like the acting a lot. I don't think we needed the kids. I don't think we should have ever seen the kids until maybe the end when they're looking at each other in the mirror or in the window, rather.
It created a more effective punch, like finding Stan's totem, his whatever the artifact that they needed from their own past. They have to burn at the end, so they find those little shower caps. Because of the spiders and whatnot. By flashing back to the kids, it really cements why this means something, and they all think of him just upon seeing this. So that could be his.
Okay,
I agree every time. Like, because if he has to have the fear, then he needs to build it up, and I buy that at the end. If that's how they defeat him, It's like, okay, well, you built it up in that. When he gores Eddie, I'm out. So then it makes you reflect back on the others and like, so you couldn't kill any of these people at any point. What power do you have?
Right, exactly. Because it seems like you just like to toy with them. Yes. And then you're like, got caught out. Oh, I had no idea they were going to be able to defeat me, blah, blah, blah. And so I feel like if they had changed the film so that he was systematically killing them until there was maybe only Bev and Ben left, and maybe Mike, I'd have been okay with that, to be honest with you. Because if you're going to change Mike's story, Mike is nowhere near that prevalent as he is in this movie. And I get that. You want to change the African-American character, the black character. You want to give him more to do. I totally respect that. But you also change the suicide thing to be about bringing everybody together rather than this dude not having the guts to confront Pennywise, which I think is a dangerous thing to do with this storyline, because you're essentially saying, you know what, if it's for the right reasons, suicide is okay. And I think suicide, because you're afraid to confront this thing, makes more sense to me. It's more honest, more real.
But if you look at it from how they set it up, and the letter that he writes, in essence saying, I knew that if we had to face him, we all had to have 100% belief on some level that we can beat him. And I don't have that, so I would weaken the group as a whole. So I took myself out of the equation. Under that logical guise, that to me is for this character, I get why he felt suicide was the most logical choice, because that's all he's ever existed on. That they talk about that. He was such an old soul. He brings it up when they're 10 years or 12 years old.
Right.
You think we'll be friends. None of my, just having that kind of scope. I'm not saying it's a story.
Yeah.
It's a story.
True.
It's just at the end, man. so after he gores Eddie, and then they finally defeat him by just going, "You're a clown, bitch. That's what you are. Oh, what's up, little bitch?" And they just keep doing that, and he keeps receding back, and you're like, none of this makes sense anymore to me.
Yeah.
And it sucks because this thing was beautiful. It was magical, captivating in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. The frustration is how do they kill him in the? Do they do that? It's been a while since I read the book. Do they do that?
I know the heart thing is real.
Yeah,
I can't. It's been 25 years.
I know there's something that they do where they like yell at him to.
Yeah, there's the ritual of chud.
Right.
Which I didn't know that was how it was pronounced until this movie.
Oh, the chud.
I just always read it as chud.
Yeah.
Unappealing. And it looks weird on their faces every time they say it. Chud. McAvoy's got an interesting American accent.
Yeah, he does. It's like Cumberbatch when he does Stephen Strange. It's a weird American accent. You have to kind of
Cumberbatch is more passable to me. McAvoy,
really?
In this movie.
Yeah, okay.
We've seen him do it in others. I'm like, I'm not sure. Is this
like
Professor
X?
And I believe that.
Yeah.
It's very precise, although he's English.
Is he English in the movies, in X-Men movies?
Yeah, doesn't he start off in England and he's like at Oxford or something coming up the ranks?
Yeah, I forgot because I've never thought of Professor X as English. But
Me either.
It makes sense. Okay.
In this, I know he's done American and others.
Yes, I'm sure he does.
It just stood on this every once and again. It was on the second viewing that it really caught me.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Did you like the guy who played Ben, the guy who played Mike?
I mean, the great line of "You look like every Brazilian football player wrapped into one." It's like, yeah, that sounds about right. That's pretty perfect, actually. I'm sure that was a script rewrite.
Right.
Because that's what he. I mean, he was good, and him and Chastain, and I guess so he's getting buried in that, and it symbolizes. What, him burying his emotions and his feelings and his true self from her.
Right. And
then she's getting bathed in blood. And every abuser that she's ever had in her life is. I don't understand why her big vexing thing was an old woman.
Yeah.
Some of the others.
Wasn't it to get to the thing?
What do you mean
to get to the totem? To get to the totem? So you're saying the woman, why the old lady?
Yeah, why he morphed into that as his ultimate state. I couldn't figure out what that is, some looming terror for her. Because you can tell upon reviewing, so that Meg Ryan joke the gay guy drops on new version of Henry Bowers in the modern day, right before they throw him off the bridge. Not the Meg Ryan. Cut to later in the film when Bill Hader shows up at Street Fighter 2. In the poster behind him when he's looking at it is "You've Got Mail."
That's right.
But Tom Hanks' face has been ripped off, but you can see Meg Ryan's hair.
Yeah.
And, you can see her, and you're like, well, okay, that's clearly the allusion to the joke from the first act.
Right.
It had all those they showed an axe.
Yes.
So anytime you see a weapon, you're like, well, if you're a good storyteller, if it comes up in the first act, you use it in the third act.
Right.
They use it a little bit before final third act. It was like the end of second kind of thing.
But did you like the Bowers? Were
felt
okay
pointless.
Yeah, right?
Pointless.
And him getting picked. And that's the thing that the first movie I felt captured the fear, the real fear that you can have as a kid. The helplessness, right? And it wasn't as supernatural. But this one, having him get picked up by his old friend who's a zombie driving the car, I was like, this is too supernatural now, and I'm losing the groundedness of the first movie to dial into this.
Okay.
And I didn't mind the ending, like the whole lights and all that shit coming down. I didn't mind that it was a space creature because I know it's a space creature from I've read the book.
Yeah.
But once you add the zombie element to it, then I start to be like, okay, what are we doing? And then combined with the space, you're like, all right, I don't know. We're losing the groundedness here that I enjoyed about the first one.
I believe so. There's more than one allusion to The Shining within the movie.
Yes.
But there's an early one where the water gets let out and all the corpses get flooded out into the bay. And Bowers, springs back to life because he was in the channel as a little kid. Mm-hmm. But in Maine, at one point they shoot a shot of the town coming in and there were fish swimming upstream. Did they have salmon in Maine?
I don't know. It's a good question. That's such a small thing to catch. That's pretty incredible.
Well, you see in the second viewings, you're looking at other things. Now I'm looking around to see the world because it's still fresh in my mind. Mm-hmm. Although I did forget about one. I was like, oh, yeah, what is Ben's process? And then they start going to the school. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, his wasn't terrifying because he already had his with him the whole time.
Yeah, in the wallet.
Yeah, that's the other thing. So they forget. So now Tozier is a stand-up of great repute because he's clearly sold out a theater of a couple thousand people.
Yeah.
It looked like a nice theater. Looked like, that could easily be in Chicago or New York or something like that.
Looks like a good live top 10 theater.
Eventually, yeah, I agree. I have zero problem doing that. And McAvoy Bill is a huge author whose the movie is being produced and whatnot. How do they forget that they know each other?
Yeah.
They both are kind of big in this town.
Well, how does Mike have all their numbers? That's what I want to know.
Okay.
If you're a celebrity, like Bill is in essence a writer in Hollywood.
Yeah, no, he's huge.
He's huge. You can't get access to that guy's number in 2019. If he's a massive stand-up comedian, how does he have his number? How does Mike get the access to all these people's numbers?
Bev Marsh is owner of a huge fashion line, and Ben is a massive architect that, they all have gone off to do huge things, and he's managed to keep all of their phone numbers.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
There's no way they have the same phone number.
And they can't figure out who he is when he calls?
Right.
Pretty impressive.
Those are those little things. I also feel like, I know there was an original cut of this film that was over 3 hours, like 3 hours 15, 3 hours and a half, something like that. I almost feel like that's how Andy shot the film.
And they
cut it down. And by cutting it down, to me, I think you removed what we needed was more time with the adult stories. I wanted to have more time with them in their respective worlds before they came to Derry. Like, I don't want them coming into Derry until an hour and a half into the movie, maybe 2 hours. And then at that point,
really?
Yeah, like, let me see what's going on with them. Let me see how Pennywise is like slowly still fucking with them resisting coming to Derry, doing everything possible not to come. Then one by one, they kind of find their ways to it.
Yeah, but
they only give you one scene. It's like, okay, I guess I'll go. And I'm just like, wait, no, you would resist this for such a long time.
Well, because then you lamented not having Pennywise in it more. If they're existing in their worlds, he doesn't have pull to them psychologically far.
But in their minds he does, because in their minds they could have like nightmares or visions or things that trigger.
Yeah, but you want to watch people have visions for 2 hours?
I'm just saying.
That sounds boring as shit. Get to the real action.
Well,
let's see Pennywise as opposed to what specter you're conjuring in your mind.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Pennywise could be the specter that you're conjuring.
But as far as I know, there's no way his power can reach to the West Coast.
Well, it's not about power. It's you've had the experience with it, so there you visualize.
But now it's not Pennywise. Now it's you visualizing what you think it is.
Well, wasn't Pennywise
and
always?
They couldn't remember who the fuck he was anyway.
That's true. That's true.
So
yeah. Well, maybe they don't remember their dreams when they wake up. But either way, I just wanted more time in their adult world.
Okay.
I did, so that I could understand who they are. Because, like, you get Bev, she has one fight with this. So why is she with this dude? What's the deal here?
Well, because
and the blah, blah, blah.
It's history repeating itself.
Right.
Just like Eddie ends up with a woman that looks just like his mom.
Right, totally. But don't I need more time to find out, like, what this relationship has been like, what they've been doing, all this kind of stuff?
This thing was already 3 hours. You want...
Yeah.
If you want to tack on 30, that's not even the 30 you're talking about. So now you're tacking on another 30 to 45.
Yeah. Take out the whole totem thing. If you take out the whole finding their totem thing, that puts the movie, the 30 to 45 I want, puts it on the front end, and then you get yourself a little bit more of a, to me, a little more interesting movie.
I'd rather see Pennywise messing with them than see their own minds messing with them. I think that's a more interesting story because... he's part of the reason I'm so captivated by this movie.
Yeah.
That scene with the little girl, that was fantastic. With the firefly, and she comes down.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, no, you're a stranger. And he's like, oh, people, always knows to capitalize on the fact that she is insecure about the birthmark that she has. And he lulls her in, so much so that when she agrees, he still pulls back to draw her in even more.
Yeah.
To amp up her empathy, to draw her in, and just like, motherfucker, this is the when he kills the guy underneath the bridge.
Oh yeah.
The second time that was more effective for me.
The gay guy.
Yeah.
You mean, yeah. When she was
because the dude looks up, and I still couldn't tell when he finally catches him across the horizon.
Mm-hmm.
Pennywise's body wasn't where it ends up, and I can't even on second viewing I couldn't figure out where it started.
Right.
So it was almost shape shifting in the moment. But after he bites into him, and he looks up. It is the most lion just devouring a corpse, and there's meat and guts hanging out, and he's just looking at you like, you want a piece?
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck. That is terrifying. Well,
that's what I'm saying. I think you're biased towards Pennywise. You want more Pennywise.
True. I do want more.
Love Pennywise.
Well, but we already have so much story when we have to revisit all of these individuals
That's what I'm saying.
in it.
I want to get – because Because I want to know who these adult characters are.
Yeah, but you want your cake and eat it too. You want more Pennywise, more of them, but you want to cut the actual Pennywise and just more of them.
Well,
you said both things. Both things cannot be the same.
I can't cut Pennywise. I don't have to cut Pennywise.
Okay, you're just creating a new version of Pennywise.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So you want to make your own.
Well, Pennywise is symbolic anyway, isn't he? Symbolic of the things.
It's still a real thing.
It is real, but it's also symbolic because it's meant in the story to be symbolic of confronting these fears that you have in your life and overcoming stuff and what this fear can manifest itself to be.
It's his manipulation that creates that fear within them because they've suppressed those emotions so much they've forgotten about almost all of them.
Yeah, but they all look like they're in terrible situations, except for Ben, of course. But seriously, if they're all in such terrible situations, they're constantly having nightmares and dreams.
It's just Bev, as far as I know.
Bev is in a shitty situation getting beat up,
right?
but Homie's a fucking limo driver.
Bev is the only one that has any recollection. She's dreamt about all of them, but none of the rest of them have.
Right.
So she knows how they all die if they don't take on Pennywise now.
Yeah.
So, but the rest of them have really no recollection until they kind of have to be force-fed a little bit, and it starts triggering old latent memories.
Yeah, but I'm saying that can happen after they get the calls. So after they get the calls, they don't have to come to Derry. After they get the calls, they can and then sit in that thing and then start to have these kind of memories start slowly coming back.
But all they're doing is flashing back to the kids, which you said you didn't want more of.
No. They don't have to flash back to the kids. If
they're going back to memories to go, oh shit, Pennywise, they're instantly going to go back to the first memory that sparks up.
Yeah, but we don't have to see the kids. It can be from their point of view seeing Pennywise. You don't have to see the kids.
I understand what you're saying. It's just you want to create a completely different movie.
I basically do. Yes, no lie. Even though I enjoyed this one, I had a good time. Got nothing. I wouldn't stop anybody from going to see it. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. I just wanted something. I'm sorry, by any stretch of the imagination.
I got you.
Sorry about that.
It's fine. I shouldn't have.
No, it's good. It's good to have the back and forth. I just wanted something on the level of what I got in the first chapter, which I thoroughly loved.
Me too.
Yeah.
It's underwhelming. What is it like? It's 60-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, or 70, like 71%.
Oh, is it really?
Something like that.
That makes sense.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
It's really well done. Like the shots are really well done.
Yes.
I like the script.
Me too.
It's good for a horror film and appealing to a broader spectrum than that. Mm-hmm. But ultimately left me wanting.
Yeah.
And sucks.
Which you don't want to feel coming out of a film like that.
I don't feel, like the Matrix walking out of Revolutions and all that shit.
Oh, my God.
That was a gut punch followed by a punch to the nuts. And you're like, why did I waste all this time?
Yeah.
This was still good enough to where I will revisit it for a couple scenes, I think one or two.
Okay.
But I'll go back to the first. If I'm going to watch either the two of them, the first to me is way better.
You've given it 2 hours. You've given it, what, 5.5 hours of your life?
I don't even know what the length of it is.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a lot.
It's worth it, dude. You show up to the theater, you time everything right. Last night I walked in and there was half of one preview left and the movie started.
Perfect.
Except they did a little zip zap switcheroo and they threw a Harley Quinn Birds of Prey.
Oh, they showed that one.
Yeah, the bubbles came up because all right, Derry, and I was like, this isn't how the last one started.
Yeah.
And then it's like,
I'm tired of clowns.
Exactly. Wink. Wink. Guess who's not going to be in this? It's just going to be Harley Quinn, guys.
I felt that way too, man.
I got it. Yeah. It's honestly souring me on something I was kind of looking forward to. Mm-hmm. Just that trailer alone is like, cool. If that's the vibe of this, I don't know about that.
Yeah, the ugly truth may be that thing doesn't turn out so well as people thought.
I hope that's wrong.
Yeah, me too. I'd like to enjoy a Harley Quinn movie. All right. Anything more to say about it? You feel? Do you like the direction? You like the score? Cinematography?
Yeah, I mean, perhaps I will see the longer version whenever that comes out.
Oh, I'm sure.
Perhaps by adding that back in, it helps, resolve a lot of the questions or problems that I have. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, my hat's off to him because that book is damn near impossible to film and bring to the cinema, and you did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Overall, it's still something to be fucking very proud of because I don't know how you tackle King.
Yeah, it's really tough.
It's tough.
Did you like his cameo?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was happy to see him in it, but at the same time, it's just like, okay.
But again, something that takes you out of the film a little bit, doesn't it?
A little bit. If it was shorter, it would have been like it doesn't need to be Stan type length.
Right.
Because you don't do this every 4 times a year like he does.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just kind of drags. Well, you're the author. You can afford it. Okay. I mean, it wasn't Tarantino Django.
Oh, God, no.
But it was fine.
Yeah.
It's good to see Steven is up and about still. Good for you, man.
Did you like Hader? Did you think he kind of really kind of stepped up as an actor in this film?
Like I said before, him, Skarsgård, and Ransom.
They're your favorite
or Ransom or whatever.
Right.
I thought all three were just stellar. Nothing against the others, but those three guys, it was just...
I agree. I can't believe that guy's Iggy. All right, well, there you go. That's
Ziggy,
sorry. That's our spoiler-filled review of It Chapter 2 for the Top 10. Want to thank everybody for downloading this and listening to this or even watching us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Such a blast. Matt, what do we want to tell them?
If you want to be able to watch this, you can go to patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Join us over there. We got all kinds of different stuff. We do shows specifically for that. You can jump in on the relist, pick a topic, get a shout out. All kinds of amazing features just for you. And I'm doing that to a camera to people that already are a part of it, you know? Not selling the audio, selling the video.
Hey.
So, yeah, join us over there. If you'd like to see it, let us know your thoughts on the movie. Hit us up, me at Matt Knost, MATTKNOST.
You can follow me at The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. And I think that's it, right? All right. Take care. Thanks, everybody.